Those of you who are here, today is Monday, August 25th, and this is a meeting of the Senior Center Site Selection and Building Committee. This meeting will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation via Zoom is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting or hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. This meeting will be live on Zoom. The public may access the proceedings by joining Zoom meeting ID 375-414-6055. or by calling 929-205-6099. For additional information about remote participation, please contact Carly Antonellis, Assistant Town Manager at atm@ayer.ma.us or 978-772-8220, extension 100 prior to the meeting. So welcome, everyone. People who are online, can you hear us okay? Or is the air conditioning providing a lot of feedback?
I'm clear.
Okay.
I can hear fine.
Okay, wonderful.
I can hear fine.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, so I call us to order at 4:09 p.m. And I would like to propose an amendment to the agenda. And that includes, we have one invoice that requires approval. So can I get a motion? Any other actually revisions? No?
A motion that we approve the amendment.
Do we want to specify when we want to have the invoice discussion?
Why don't we do that after the approval of the minutes?
Make a motion that we approve the agenda, the amended agenda.
Second.
Okay, since we have split folks tonight, we'll have to go around.
Aye.
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 Aye. Dan?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Wonderful, thank you. Okay, so that brings us to the approval of the minutes. So there are 4 sets of minutes for everyone to get. Let me just pass the other 2 sets around.
Maybe 3.
There we go. Did everyone have a chance to read those 4 sets? I think those might be okay. They are from, thank you. There's one from each month. So they are May 15th, June 5th, July 17th, and August 8th. If people have not had a chance to read them, we can table them to the next meeting, but since we are behind, I just wanted to give us a chance to get caught up.
Yep, those are here's the extra show.
You have not had a chance to read them, Ellen? No, okay. Didn't, Ken, I think you had said you hadn't had a chance to, okay, do we need to table these again?
Well, we want to approve the first couple that were emailed out earlier and then defer the rest of them. The one pager we looked at before, right?
So we have May 15th, we have June 5th, we have July 17th and August 8th.
Will we do this at the next meeting and tell everybody you have to read them? So we can do them all at one time?
Okay, sure. You're supposed to do them promptly.
Well, if you have something you wanna do.
Can I make a suggestion that we take this out of order and table it till later in tonight's meeting? If we have time to go over it before we leave tonight, we can do it then.
Okay, that's fine. Sounds good. Okay, all right, so we will table that. Okay,
If that's the correct sequence. I mean,
I think that's fine. because you're right, we have some other things to get through. So the amended item on the agenda is the invoice, and I can pull that up here. That just became available today, but I'd like to go ahead and be able to pay that.
Did you email it out or?
I didn't, it just came today.
Okay.
So it's in your packet that's on the table and I'm sharing it, hopefully everyone can see that. This is J&S Business Products. This is the town-wide postcard mailer. So there we go.
I didn't, we didn't get it. Keith.
I don't see the invoice.
Yeah.
Printed.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Okay.
It's on the
It's on
screen.
the screen.
It's on the
All right.
screen. So this is the 6.5 by 9 postcard. Ellen, thank you so much for all of the work
I'll pass
that
that.
you have done on that to get that ready to go. This is the one that will. We had looked at drafts. Everyone has seen a draft at the last, I believe, 2 meetings in a row. This one's got a little bit different color scheme and some better stock photography on it. And we'll go to everyone in town, and the goal is just to draw attention to the senior center project, but most importantly, to let them know when the 4 main public outreach sessions, public outreach sessions will be. So that is from our local printer here in downtown, and that is for $1,922.27, and that is for the printing, the mailing, sorting, and turn over the
And
post
that
office.
goes to about 5,000 homes, every residence in Ayer, and also we'll have about 100 extra copies that we can pass out at events.
And when would it go out?
It'll go out hopefully at the end of next week.
At the end of the next, so just before Labor Day.
Yeah,
No,
Is that really
the
ridiculous?
week, okay.
because our first public session is the 15th.
Yeah, okay.
Could you pass that? It's at the back, and they have the front page.
So it's a front and back postcard.
It's a front and back.
So what are we looking at? Just, I get just one page here.
So it's front and back.
It has-
That's the other page.
That's the other page.
Got it.
Fine.
And it's,
Oh,
Okay, so keep those
the
together.
back has the
Okay,
indicia. That's about it.
And then how much did you say posting?
$1,922.27.
And about over 1,000 of that is postage.
I make a motion that we pay the bill to the
J&S.
J&S for $1,922.27.
Second that.
Okay. Any discussion?
Um.
No? Okay. Ken?
Oh, I know, he said he wanted to get the postage paid in advance. The post office wants it paid in advance, but can we get that?
So, so this has to go through the accounts payable process. So, that is due, we just missed it. It was last Wednesday. So, but JNF is familiar with that process.
He's gonna confirm.
So, I can work. If they
Maybe you can
really,
talk to him. He thought the Friends would pay for everything. And I told him no, that we were paying for this,
Mhm,
and the Friends are paying for anything that promotes,
right,
votes.
right.
So, anyway,
Hi, Katie. I'm familiar with that process with the post office.
Mhm.
So who would be paying the postage for this mailing? The town or the Friends?
The town, because it's just an informational one.
Okay, yeah. So what we would have to do is, they'll tell us, it looks like we have the postage amount. We would request a manual check and we have to bring that over to the post office. We can get a check from, the treasurer's office. Excuse me. Bring it over to the post office and they won't accept that bulk mailing until that is in our account. We have a bulk mail permit. So if you want to just touch base with me tomorrow, I can walk you through that process.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carla.
thank you, Carly.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor.
Seconded.
Okay, Ken?
Aye.
Bonnie?
Okay.
Dave?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Chair says aye. All right, wonderful. Okay. Thank you all. That brings us to sort of the meat of tonight's discussion, which is a discussion of the select board meeting from last week and our next steps. So as I believe pretty much everybody was here, was there at the meeting, select board did hear our presentation, our update, and gave us a tentative conditional approval to go on the fall meeting town warrant contingent upon us having a successful meeting with capital planning and finance. I have reached out to both of the chairs of those committees and they are working on their dates for September. It did not seem to be a problem to get us a meeting before the select board would meet again.
And was there some indication that they would prefer a joint meeting, or is it definitive that we would have two separate meetings?
I didn't ask them for a joint meeting. That felt presumptive of me, so I didn't. If they choose to organize that way, then sure, great, we'd be amenable to that. But I did reach out to each one of them individually to their committees. All right.
Do you think we could ask them to make it the sooner the better?
I do think that they
They were
are
both
aware
there
of the
at the
time
same
frame.
time.
So, you know, Chris is the chair of capital planning and he was obviously at the meeting as a member of the select board. And then Kurt, as the chair of the finance committee, was also at that select board meeting. So
Yeah.
they're both aware of the timeline that we're working with.
And Kurt, my impression from Kurt's remarks near the end of the meeting was that he saw that meeting as focusing purely on the financials involved.
Mhm.
And that your presentation regarding the need for the center and its efficacy and the number of people it would serve, it didn't seem like he thought that would be relevant to the discussion at FinCom.
Right. And so we can take some different documents, a little bit more detail than we took to the last select board meeting to really go through whatever it is they're interested in. Yeah. Yep. All right, take this off. Okay. All right. So that's great news. It's fantastic. I was excited after that meeting. Moves us forward. I'm going forward. All right. So
Okay.
in terms of,
Katie,
yes. Robert.
I'm sorry that the hand raising feature isn't working. But at the appropriate time, I just had a few things related to this. Also, the memo I sent you.
Go ahead. This is great time.
Pardon?
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So I apologize. I had planned to be down there in person and I had copies. I don't know if you have copies of the memo yet.
I'll make some copies.
It's
now.
okay, Katie. It came hot off the press. And I was going to bring it with me. And then I had to do remote. So anyhow, you will see a memo, which is, it's designed for informational purposes. So what I did was I took the liberty of breaking down meeting with the finance committee, meeting with the capital planning committee, and then the town meeting and debt exclusion ballot election processes. So it's an information memo. It's 3 pages in length, but it's designed to put everybody on the same page. The committee, the building committee, the capital planning committee, finance, the select board, so that we are all on the same page. Since the meeting, I've also talked to the chair of FinCom and Capital. And the reason being is, as somebody mentioned, they're absolutely correct in the memo. The Finance Committee and the Capital Planning Committee both have very specific responsibilities in this process. So in the Finance Committee case, it's more about the financial dimension of the project as opposed to the need and the history. It has a lot to do with the financial piece. And the finance manager and I also met today, and we will work with the committee and be at these meetings to provide some of the information as needed in same with the capital. In talking to them and also circling back on the select board, the expectation, I think they're going to call two separate meetings, is from what I understand, which is usually the case. So in the interest of time, when you get my memo, it's all informational. It also references information from the financial policies, which are on the town website, sort of spells out everything that we need to do. So in the interest of time, Madam Chair, unless there's any questions, here is a resource. I apologize that I didn't get the memo sooner. I just finished it late this afternoon.
Madam Chair, Robert, could you email that to each committee member?
Yes, I can do that too. And I was gonna put it on the web page.
Great. All right, and so I just printed one copy again, sorry, I thought. more
No, and
copies were-
I have a bunch of copies for you. My apologies.
So this memo describes like what the charge essentially of each of those two committees are, and then I presume, Robert, you and I can work together for making sure that the presentation you think will meet the needs. And it says here that both committees may submit questions to our committee in advance.
So I thought what would be helpful, I think, taking a team approach and having everybody on the same page. I asked the chair of the finance committee and capital if they could talk to their members and submit any specific questions or information they would like to see or discuss, so that I envision for both meetings, we would give an overview of the project from a financial perspective, but to maximize the time and the value of the meetings, if we had what they were looking for in questions in advance, we would be fully prepared. I know that the chair of the finance committee is putting that together as we speak.
Are those meetings that, do you think they would expect the architect and or the OPM to be there?
So that would be up to the committee. That's not required, but that would be up to the committee. I don't want to speak out of turn, but in talking to the chair of the FinCom, he's looking to set aside, this will be the only item on that meeting agenda, and he's looking to set aside up to 2 hours for it. And I believe capital is similar. So whatever the committee would like to do or bring in terms of individuals or material would be up to you.
One thing that, I certainly feel deficient in having a full understanding of, especially, well, from either of those committees, the extent to which, like, I think that we are well versed in the particular finances of this project and how we got to the number and how we plan on paying for it. How the total number fits into the overall town budget, that there's room within the debt exclusion, that we have an adequate tax base, that it doesn't over exceed, that there's no other larger capital project that will be negatively affected. I mean, I think that the answers to those questions, if, I'm assuming they may well ask them, that we have kind of the appropriate response to that, or at least be prepared to answer them.
So to that's why myself and Barbara will be intimately involved with the committee with these meetings and the process. And I met with her today and, through Katie. So in advance of both of these meetings, so we're all on the same page. Some of those larger questions, Dennis, that you brought up, is sort of our job, but you'll have that information as we're going into. In other words, the cost impact, the debt exclusion schedule, all of that. Which is sort
Okay,
of,
all right.
which is sort of formulaic, for any project of this size. It's just the specifics.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yep.
Robert, should we have an expectation that when we leave those meetings that night, we'll get an endorsement from the committees that they favor the project?
Yes, so, yes, and I asked, the chair of the FinCom, his goal, intent is at the conclusion of that meeting to have a recommendation, same with capital.
Okay, thank you.
That's great. Okay. All right. Great. Any other questions about the next steps? And I will let the committee know as soon as I hear a date for either one of those meetings.
Should everyone plan to go?
No. Yeah, I would say for sure everyone should plan to go. Brian, you have your hand up?
Yeah, thank you, Katie. Just a quick question. This may be for Robert as well, based upon the select board meeting that I listened in on. The structure and the size of the ask is contingent upon funding from the UDAG and the transfer from capital stabilization. And does that need approval first before going to capital and FinCom to show them that we've got support for, I think at this point it's about $3+ million coming from other town sources in order to achieve the ask and borrow that we're putting forth? Is it okay to go to these two first and then the select board after for their endorsement on that transfer?
So through the chair to Brian, yes. So this would be, if you will, the order of operations. The committee has already gone to capital, and back in, has gone to capital, I think twice. And then the meeting was short of a formal recommendation because things at that time weren't finalized. So they knew we would be coming back. And same with the finance committee. In both committees, as you had just mentioned, as all parties are aware of the capital stabilization piece and the UDAG piece as part of the total package.
Right. Thank you very much.
I guess ideally we would go to capital stabilization before we go to finance, right? So that capital stabilization would have decided to endorse it and endorse it at a certain capital stabilization amount, or is that not particularly important?
I think we're in good shape because I know everybody is aware of what the plan is.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you, Robert.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Making sense to pass this over.
Yeah, so let's, as part of the, financial preparation for that meeting, Ken was kind enough to go back through his, and I can put that up here, his revised budget. So with the idea that we can go to capital planning and stabilization with, either with both the breakdowns of the hard construction costs and then the details, as we look before the spreadsheet from the OPM has a lot more of the details of the soft costs and then breaks them down into the divisions. And then you've got it broken down further. I don't know to what degree, but I think having all of this here at our disposal, it would be a good idea. So let me pull that up and then you can start talking while I'm looking for it.
Okay, so the point of this breakdown that I did is to show the detail of the construction costs by the sections of work involved. So if somebody turns out and says to us, how much does it cost to frame the building, we've got an idea. And these figures are the figures that Fogarty gave us. As you know, the first time I did this, I took the other two buildings that were built by Catlin and summarized them then in an initial budget. This is based on the last budget that we got from Fogarty and the fact that we had decreased the building somewhat. And so the first section is just exactly the breakdown of construction pieces that it needs to build this building, which leads us through all the different sequences of the construction process, including the last three items, which are the earthwork and exterior improvements and utilities on site. So if you were to go back to all of the OPM's numbers, those two items will add up to this exact same number, the 10,880,508. And the next section is basically me summarizing and just listing exactly what we've talked about and what's on the OPM's budgets as well. The difference between the OPM and what I'm doing is they're showing those four columns, the progress through. And includes a lot of items that there's lines in there that we're not necessarily using. This is basically the lines that are taken off of our budgets and put there in one summary sheet, basically. So it has the same exact categories broken down, but instead of us telling them that the building and the site are 10,880,508, we can show them individually what each piece is worth. Which you can see basically by going through this, how many pieces there are to build a building. It's a lot. And so it's a summary of the Fogarty budgets, basically broken down into section by section of the pieces of work.
And I will email this to the committee as well.
Right. So the next section is simply the summary of the soft cost, the way we discussed it and the way it came together on, the last OPM summary budget. And again, just a little bit of an explanation on each line, more than just the word architect, for instance. It goes into a little more depth of what the architectural design fees consist of. So again, it's simply a way, I think, to give everyone a better idea of the actual description of what these pieces are. And then finally, the last two things on the last page we talked about, which were the furnishings, equipment, and technology. Again, the same exact list that was on the OPMs, but just listed in this particular order and then bracketed together. And then the add alternates at the end that we decided on taking. And next to the add alternates, I put the estimate, even if the ones that we didn't take. So there's a number there that we can see, the veneer. And then a zero because we have not decided to use it. And adding it all up, it all comes up to the 15,165,170, which is the total at this point in time. That's kind of what it's about. So,
have you spoken with Kurt? Because he told me last week he wanted to reorganize the financial stuff because he found the way that we have been presenting it confusing. And he wanted to streamline. This is much better.
I know that, but I wasn't gonna do anything like that until tonight. Until we talked about it as a group. I can't do that. I don't think I can go out like that.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, so I think that will be part of what will be nice about getting their questions in advance. And everybody processes information a little bit differently. So how to present that in a way that both provides the amount of detail for people who really want to drill down, but also shows the big picture. Sometimes it takes a couple of different looks, a couple of different documents to communicate that.
Yeah, I did want to go back actually to the very start, the very paragraph, the second paragraph where I describe what this is based on. Because this is kind of important. So now basically we're saying it's an approximate, this is right at the top, approximately a 13,000 gross square foot building on a 3-acre lot. But I'm clarifying that the estimates included a professional estimate of the hot limit. Read that for me, because I changed it, so.
Include a professional schematic design estimate of hard construction costs by A.M. Fogarty, working for the architect Catlin Associates. If it's Catlin Architecture, I think. All hard and soft costs reviewed by the town's OPM, Vertex, employed by the Senior Center Building Committee, AV, phone, security, and computer system budgets by Charlie Schultz, Town Facilities Director.
Right, so I'm trying to clarify where we got the information, so people aren't thinking, wait a minute, it's all from the committee. The committee has worked with professionals to get these estimates. That's what that's all about.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Madam Chair, in terms of and Brian, I think you might be helpful here. How is the process for deciding if and or when the add alternates are added or definitively ruled out? I mean, at what point in the process does that happen?
Yep. Thanks for the question. So usually what we find is during the design development and construction documents, we identify what the alternates are going to be. And then leading up to where we're going out to bid, we need to prioritize them and put them in order of what we have for priority, let's say 1 through 4. And then on bid day, we would receive our bid results from general contractors, in which they would have to separate that pricing 1 through 4. We would look at our low bidder, because sometimes, depending on what alternates you take, would change who ultimately is the low bidder. And so we would need to evaluate what those alternates are, have a building committee meeting, and vote to accept alternates in sequence.
Just to follow up on that, Brian, and with John, so in fact, we may end up with more alternates as we go through the design development and final drawings, because we may decide that we want to take a look at some other areas we can save money. It's a possibility, I guess.
Yeah, and also understand that the alternates are there to hit the budget. So
Yeah.
you may have a bid that's lower than we expected, allow you to take a bunch of the alternates.
Right.
They're to help us, as I think Brian Jarvis might have said at the last meeting, the estimate is in the middle of high and low of what they expect it to be. And these alternates are really designed not we're not going to pay extra for them. They're there to help us hit the budget. And if the actual base budget comes in lower, we can add in more alternates in sequence, as Brian just said. They go through 1 through 4 or 5 or 6. We usually don't want more than about 5 alternates. It confuses the things a bit, but it'll allow you to buy in those if the budget comes in lower than expected, the estimates.
But based on where we are right now, we're saying that we want the generator and the 2 partitions to not be add alternates, right? We want them to be included. And then we add alternates.
Well, one of the
No, we would still bid them as out alternates.
You would, okay.
You really
Okay.
have to do that in order you have to hit the budget. You don't want to, if you come way over the budget, you're not going to get the building. So we put those alternates in, those are all can be bought in at another time, a year from now or 6 months from now or 2 years from now. But the idea is that we want to make sure we hit that number. So we're not going to put them in the base bid. We'll have them as alternates. It gives us flexibility, but we'll put them in order. If you want the generator first, that's first. You won't decide that till, certainly in the level of, at the end of design development in the construction documents. And Brian can correct anything I made up there.
Madam Chair, I mean, just to note that both room partitions are in as alternates.
Correct.
Yeah, not the support structure, but the actual partitions themselves. So you can add them in. You can hang a partition anytime. It doesn't interrupt the operation of the building. So if we don't get it at the base bid, we do own all the structure for it. So all they have to do is come in and put the kit in.
Anything else before we move on to public outreach updates? No? Okay, wonderful. Well, like I said before, Ellen has been hard at work with the rest of the committee, but mostly it's been Ellen working on this. You get that one?
Do you have enough?
Oh, yep, no, we got plenty. With our public outreach plan. So Ellen, do you want to go through that one?
Okay, the first thing we're gonna put out is the mailing, the postcard mailing. It's a 6.5 by 9. It'll go to everyone in town. The one question I had for Callan, I had asked about getting some slight changes in those renderings that was part of the 3D walkthrough, which we used 2 of those. We took 2 pictures from that. One of the multi-purpose room and one of kind of the seating area in front of the fireplace. And I didn't know how hard it would be. I don't know if Brian is still on, to put a few more people in there, particularly in front of the, the
Can I chime-
fireplace.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
that's actually something I've been working on today. And I've been trying to give it a little bit more of a population in that multi-purpose room. So I will, yeah, I'm working on that. I'm rendering overnight. It takes multiple hours. So hopefully I'll see what I have in the morning. Might need to do some more stuff, but I can get to you something soon.
And if possible, I'm sorry, if you could put two people sitting in those chairs in front of the fireplace. It would
Oh,
look a lot better.
definitely.
Yeah,
But, I have to turn these in tomorrow. So if you
Yeah.
think it's not, okay, all right, good. All right.
Yeah.
So that's gonna go out. It's going to the printer tomorrow and, it should be in the mail. And when it's in the mail, it goes out the next day. So it should be going out by next Friday. And that is promoting, if you look further down, you'll see we have set up 4 public information sessions on September 15th at Town Hall.
Have this document to share.
Huh?
I don't have this document to share, sorry for people who are online.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You want me to try to, send it to you, email it to you or something?
No, that's okay, just describe what you've got and I'll email this out to
We
everyone.
have it, we also have a meeting on the 20th of Saturday at 10 AM. The one at Town Hall is 7 PM. And that one is in person only, though we do want to ask APAC to videotape it. The 20th at 10 AM is here at the senior center, in person and on Zoom. And that's when the kids are down on the field playing soccer, and hopefully some parents will come. Wednesday, October 1st at 10 AM at the Ayer Library, in person and on Zoom. And Thursday, October 16th at 7 PM at the high school auditorium, in person and on Zoom. We could use some help from committee members, at those meetings and getting people to attend. And, we might also set up other sessions around town at churches or in homes or wherever we can, do that. I think Linda is gonna be working on that when she gets back from vacation. So the first thing out will be the mailing, and that will kind of define our color scheme, which we hope to carry through on the yard signs. And the friends will carry through on the yard signs and their postcard, which is kind of a vote yes. So they will have another postcard just for that, but they're paying for all of that. We have the 4-page booklet that we've handed out at meetings, which has descriptions of the building and features and all kinds of information. Those will be handed out at the public information sessions, and we have enough money already put into the town's postage meter that we can send out 2,000 of those to all the seniors in town. So we will do that probably 2-3 weeks before town meeting. There is a new senior center website. That all it has is the features of the new building, basically. And social media, Katie is kind of looking at the COA page on Facebook and also monitoring the Ayer community page on Facebook. And it would be good if committee members could also keep up with that. If you see any misinformation or something, speak up and say so.
Just want to note with an eye for considering an Ayer community page conversation, if there's 5 or more of you in the same conversation, that's a problem. So just be mindful of who else on. I don't think it will be an issue based on which committee members are and aren't on Facebook, but yeah, and again, the idea is that it's to provide factual information, not necessarily to sway someone's opinion either way, but yeah, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, we are doing a video to show the current Ayer Senior Center. And we have a young filmmaker who just graduated from Fitchburg State, who's very interested, whose grandmother recently passed away in what he felt was an inferior nursing home. So he feels he really wants to champion the cause of seniors. And he seems to be very good. He was recommended by the Devon's Development Board. He's been doing some videos for them about natural habitat and other things, and they seem to be very high quality. So we'll be filming this week, the next 4 days, things that are happening here. And that's to be completed by the first public information session, and we also plan to show it at the town meeting. Yard signs, Bonnie's been coordinating that, so I'll let her talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So for yard signs, we've chosen, an online, vendor called Signs on the Cheap. That's what I was doing just for the meeting, getting another quote from them, for 100 signs, and for shipping and for stakes, it comes out to be, roughly, where's my total, $770. It's a little more than what we previously thought, but every time, basically, call them, you get a new quote.
Right, yeah.
So it's a little disturbing, but that's okay. But it is the least expensive alternative. So the question, I guess, for us and for the friends is basically, what do we want the yard sign to say?
So that would definitely be something for the friends to decide in their friends.
Yeah.
Meeting versus
Us,
just
yeah,
us.
okay. Betsy Diskin has been working on it.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, she's been working on that, but I appreciate you including the yard signs as part of the overall
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
public
just-
outreach,
Yeah.
but that's definitely a friends piece.
Yeah, and then in
Yeah.
timing, I think we would probably want to wait until after, finance, the meetings that were being held in September, right?
Right, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we'll hold on that.
And do we have a sense?
Would that yard sign be multiple colors, or is it two color?
So it's gonna be like a kind of a 2-color, maybe with 3-color, so for right now, it's gonna kind of look like this. I don't know if you could see that. So it's basically
Yeah.
gonna be same kind of teal blue, hopefully the same teal blue as the mailer as a background,
Mhm.
white lettering,
So there's a.
and a little bit of red kind of to pop. We don't, so the question, we don't want it too wordy. We want it to stand out. We want it to catch people's eye as they drive by.
Bonnie, now you can hold it up in front of you. We were on a different view for the Zoom before, yeah, there you go. But that'll be yellow,
Yeah.
yellow, so that instead of red, so it matches.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the draft. You've got, you can't see those on the screen. There's markups on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it looks like it's two color, blue
Yeah.
and red with a white
Yeah.
background as the base.
Yeah, this was the teal, it's
All
gonna
right.
be a teal blue. This was like kind of the original, actually.
Do you want to put the date for the election on the sign as well? The ballot election, so that people are aware that you're gonna have to vote twice?
Okay, so here's my take on this, and I've talked to a couple of people, including my husband. So the ballot, so the most important thing to have on it is basically voting at town meeting on October 27th. Basically, if it passes,
When
when it passes, what we can do is we can go around and put stickers on the yard signs and say, vote yes on ballot question
Oh, that's a good idea.
number, whatever, right? Because I think if you have the ballot question on the yard sign, it gets too confusing.
Okay, so, and we know that we have a means of putting the sticker that will fit on the date, so the date changes on the
Yes.
outside.
we will have a means to do that. It's been done before.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Again, that would be a friends thing.
Friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, that will be a
Friends
friends
thing.
thing, yeah.
And do we have a sense of how many signs we want? And again, it may well be a friends thing, but I think
Yeah.
that's something that,
Well, you had quoted for 100 signs,
We
right?
quoted for 100.
100.
I think we need like 300.
We can't, the cost of the sign, because I went to the last Friends meeting. And in order to send out a postcard to everyone in town that says vote yes, you know, at town meeting, that's gonna be $1,900 and $1,927. At the time, they had in their account, like $2,020.
Yeah.
So that only left them with $100. So as you can see, the cheap thing is $700. So they were short like $600, but they got a donation for half of that. So they are scraping to come up with the cost just to pay for the 100.
It's a budget issue, right? We're trying to be cost effective and stay within
Yeah,
the amount of money we have
Yeah.
right now currently in the
And they're
in the treasury.
They're asking all their members to look around and try to find people who will put it in their yards
Mhm.
and businesses and where we can do it. Betsy has contacted Robert about the rules of where they can go and everything else like that.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to push really hard to get 100 up.
Dave's gonna wear them front and back to stand before the name.
Yeah, and just as a little background, I just written my graphics firm.
What?
Oh, sorry, what was that,
Make our
John?
own sign.
Yeah, I just wrote my graphics firm asking for a price for 100 signs front and back and see what their cost is. They're
Oh, thank
very,
you.
very competitive and I do a lot of work with them. I'll see what they say and I'll let you, Katie, know so you can distribute it around. If I get a number that looks positive, we'll wait and see.
Yeah,
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
that's great, because the local printer here wanted $10 a time. And
Ooh.
online.
our local printer
Local
in town,
printer.
what, it's
Who's doing the
$10.
It's
per
$10, yeah. So going online, it makes it cheaper, and we're
Can we see
hoping,
if we can get them to put it on the mobile sign on the fire station?
Yes, yes.
Is that it's coming up?
So that would
That's
be,
something
and that would be advocacy, and that is a town-owned sign. So I don't think it would be, I presume the town advertises town meeting, any town meeting on that sign already, but I don't know that specific, like anything related to advocacy. I'll check in on that and see.
yeah, you can ask
Because
them
community
to
groups, I know,
remind people to come.
put some things up, so I can ask.
But the group, the Friends are also looking into a banner, that would say, vote yes. The question is that they don't really put them across Main Street or anything, so they're looking for a place where it should go. And then that has to go through Robert as well. So,
Well, it only goes through Robert if it's on town property, otherwise it has to go through the building commissioner,
okay, that's
just
right.
for
You're right.
broader approval, yeah.
Okay, so I'm also gonna make some posters based on, the postcard that we can put up in, some grocery store. This would be primarily to promote the dates for the public information sessions. And, hopefully at grocery stores or, around town and things like that. So that'll be an 8.5 by 11 poster. We have some counter display.
No, sorry. You can print this at 11 by 17 on the others, but we can't do that here, because we can't.
We can print this one, yes. I can print this particular postcard, which is advertising public input and has no advocacy in it. We can print that here. That is
We
not a
could
problem
print
at all.
that at 11 by 17 and laminate, using the signs.
I mean, I guess you could, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we're also gonna put up some of the 4-pagers and possibly some of the postcards at town hall, the library, grocery stores, and other locations in town. And at the transfer station, Linda is coordinating, handing out information about the upcoming public information sessions, and then the friends may go back to the transfer station and pass out information about the vote yes. So. That's what we have done. If anybody else has other ideas of things they think we missed, let me know.
And this is a very robust plan, so thank you for really bringing all of these ideas
So
together.
we will need some help with people going to public information sessions and, you know, when we need to pass things out or go to the transfer station or anything like that.
Any questions, comments about public outreach? No. Wow, it's quiet group tonight. Okay.
Well, I mean, one thing, I would say that especially for the four that are listed, I mean, the four big ones, or five big ones that are listed there, that the members of the select board be emailed individually invitations to those meetings.
I think it's a good idea. Yeah. 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 Wow. Where's John into that? Okay.
I just had one clarification. So, well, you said, social media on the first page,
Mhm.
Katie's managing input to the Facebook COA. That's the reference on the front, right? The senior center.
Well, so the town of Ayer has a
That's
Facebook
ours.
page, and then the senior center has its own town of Ayer official Facebook page. And that's totally separate than what's on this postcard, is a website I created for, that is just a little bit easier to put the information, up. It could be displayed, I guess, on the town's website, on our existing website, but there's so much other stuff.
Okay.
This would be just specific with the building information.
So a person who is a member of Facebook would go on this page and add comments and positive input. And whatnot.
Oh, yeah, so the senior center operates its own Facebook
I'm
page.
talking about this one, the one you referenced.
Yeah, the Facebook page, yep.
Good.
Yeah, so we put out, at the beginning of each month, or as events are coming up, we put out posts for our events that are going on. Monthly, I say, hey, the newsletter's available, click here to go to the town website to view it, things like that. And September is, National Senior Center Month, so in addition to that, in September, you'll see a lot of, random, did you know these things about senior centers, the benefits of a senior center? And then, as we transition into October, we'll use kind of that same format to do building information, things as well. And then, yeah, I don't have a lot of traffic on the Facebook page, but when I share the Facebook page into the Ayer community page, which is not an official town page, then there tends to be more activity about it.
Okay, thanks.
I only have one more thing. Dan Van Truppen, you mentioned that you had contacts with the APAC people. Because when I tried to reach them, they never got back to me. I wanna make sure to see if we can get them to film at the town hall on the 15th.
Yeah,
You can either put me in touch with them, or if you think you would be the better person to ask.
yeah, I'll send you their contact and I'll reach out to them.
Great.
Hopefully we'll get something back.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Great, good, thank you.
All right, we already really talked about the town meeting and election process. Anything else? I don't think we have any members of the public in terms of public input. Anything else? This is a really good, productive, and also short meeting for us tonight. All right,
If you wanna go through the minutes, whether they
yeah,
take it out of roll.
oh yeah, that's right. We were gonna revisit. I mean, if people haven't read them, they're not gonna have read them by now, but,
Can't read right.
bye, John.
Okay.
You raising buyers, they asking a question.
No, oh, I thought he was waving goodbye. So. What do you guys want to do?
Maybe we could look at June fifth, if it's only one page, 2 pages.
Okay,
You wanna look at June fifth,
Yes,
the one page?
we can just read the thing and do it.
and for full disclosure, these are my attempt to get us caught up, so they're highly condensed minutes.
I think you have too much in there.
I would like to say, I wanna thank Dennis for his efforts to keep up, it's been a lot of work.
It really has.
Yeah.
And I know you're also on the board for the, Council on Aging, and you're doing minutes for them too. If there's anybody on this committee who's not really overloaded with things for the committee, if maybe people could volunteer to do a set of minutes here and there, that would really help out. You know,
And we are generating. Zoom is generating AI summaries for it, so it's that are available, they'll be available within like 20 minutes of when we're done with this meeting. So if someone wants to take over the minutes for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, whatever, how long it is, then I can forward those summaries, and then, you know, if you do it right away, it's pretty easy to remember what AI messes up and what it doesn't. It doesn't require listening through the recording again.
I move that we approve the minutes for June 5th, if anybody's had a chance.
Was this an AI generated?
This was, yep. I don't have time to listen back through all of this.
Yeah, I just listened to the recording and.
Yeah, I find that the place where AI messes it up is that for our screen being on the owl, it says in the recording that I said everything because the name of the screen is Katie Petrossi. And so then I have to go back and go, Katie didn't say all that. She wasn't the only person that was speaking in the meeting. Like, who said that? And again, if you do it within 24 hours, you can usually remember who said it, and I can change the names. But it really does do a good job of providing a concise, I mean, front and back is sufficient for our meetings. They don't need to be a transcript.
Yes, awesome. Well, I would volunteer for a month, 1 month.
Okay.
Right? November, October or November.
Okay, not September.
Yeah, I can't September.
Not September, yeah. All right,
I'll second Dennis's motion, if you don't second it.
okay. Then no other discussion. All right, Ken, how do you vote?
Aye, on the June 5th meeting. Minutes.
Bonnie,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Ellen,
I,
Dan?
Aye.
Chair says aye. All right, so we have approved June 5th. If everybody can read the rest of them before the next meeting, that would be fantastic. And then, Dennis, can I just give, or you have one, so you can sign it and turn it in? Okay, thank you.
That's the signature of acceptance line? Is that what you're-
Yes, I think that is from you as the clerk. All right. Wonderful. All right, so our next meeting, so our next meeting would have, because we were supposed to have met on Thursday. would bring us to September 4th. That is likely before either capital planning or FinCom will be scheduled. Do we need to meet again before then, or do we wanna wait and schedule a time when those meetings have been scheduled?
I vote to schedule after those meetings.
After those, okay.
Or in between, if they, depending on how the difference between FinCom and capital planning, if they're like 2 weeks apart, we should probably meet in between and say, this is what happened at FinCom, or this is what happened at capital planning, depending on which one comes first.
I was, yeah, it's funny, I had a different thought. I thought we might have to meet before any of those meetings, so we would kind of review our presentation. We needed any judgment on how we were gonna proceed at the meeting. This is typically what we do anyway.
I think it would be good to have us all, given that the nature of the presentation may change, and following up on reading Robert's memo, that all the committee members be on the same page in terms of what we are communicating to the committees.
Okay, so do we wanna meet then on September 4th?
I can't be there.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in Maine.
Me too.
Alright, well, we don't have to all be there, but, we can tentatively, is there a day, a couple of days either way that would make it so that you guys could be there, or?
I'll be back whatever that Saturday is, I'm coming back.
The 6th.
Of the 6th, okay, so we could do something the week of the 8th then? How about the 11th?
I can't do the 11th.
You
September 11th.
I think, as Dan, I think FinCom's tentative for the 10th, right? For Robert's memo.
But
Just so you know.
Oh, okay. Tentative for the 10th, okay, so then we would want it to be before then.
The 8th.
The 8th,
is that Monday?
Yeah.
that's a Monday.
Monday's a good day for meetings, nothing else going
Alright.
on Mondays.
4 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
So we said we were gonna alternate, that would make that one a 6 PM meeting.
Well, but, oh yeah, we don't care about their agenda. All right. The 8th,
Or do people think better at 4 PM?
Why are we alternating? Are there people that prefer the 6th?
Well, when we started, there was some public sentiment that people hoped that this important project would be meeting at a time when people who are working could attend. I think we have shown over the course of the time that there hasn't been a lot of public participation. There's been some over time, but it hasn't seemed to really matter what time for that. So, I think
whatever's best for you and Dan, I think is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
important to me.
Well, I'd say too, for the meeting, the content of this meeting is really just us reviewing what we're gonna present. So it's really not, you know,
Right.
something critical that the public would be very interested in. They're gonna see it at FinCom anyway.
right. I mean, 4 PM is a little easier for me. I don't know about you, Dan. Is it easier to put it on, tack it right on the end of your day?
Yeah, that's always easier, but I can do either. Yeah.
All right.
So 4 PM? Okay,
4 up September 8th.
all right. Wonderful, all right. Do I have a motion to
Motion to
adjourn?
adjourn.
Second.
All right,
That's all you need.
Ken,
Aye.
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 aye, Dan,
Aye.
chair says aye. We are adjourned at 5:11 PM.